the fact that the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom lights Diya lamps outside number 11 Downing Street when he was the Chancellor of the Exchequer, that he hosts a Diwali reception within, I think, days of becoming Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, tells you something about the United Kingdom and how much it's changed over the last generation. I talked to some of my most senior contacts and friends here who said to me, I could never believe that somebody of South Asian origin could become Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Well, they have. Now, of course, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak knows India well, partly through his family history, partly through his wife as well. And so he's very interested in India. We've already had several engagements with Prime Minister Modi. They met, they've spoken on the phone, I think twice. India's interest, UK's interest is still the UK's interest. So we'll have to find a way to how we achieve those things. But it helps enormously when you have somebody who really knows and understands the country. And that's an interesting reflection, I would say, overall of politics in the UK.
What is Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's visit to India whenever that happens? What is that going to be like?
Well, I hope very much we might have a Prime Minister Modi visit to the UK as well. I think because he was an absolute hit when he came last time. And I remember when it was with then Prime Minister David Cameron still talks about Brook Bond, Green Bond, James Bond. So he can fill a stadium, Prime Minister Modi, amongst many other things. I think that there's enormous interest in Prime Minister Rishi Sunak in India.
Yes.
You'll tell me, because...
Absolutely. That's why I was asking.
Both because of his family heritage via East Africa, and because through his wife, and therefore his knowledge of India. Remember, this is a man who, when he swears the oath to become a member of parliament, the book he swears it on is the Bhagavad Gita. That tells you something about the UK Parliament of today, to go back to what you were asking me earlier. So I hope he'll come. He's a busy man. He's got some issues to deal with at home. But I would presume that around the G20 summit he would come here. Like any High Commissioner, I'm looking for that opportunity when I can bring the leaders together to talk about those things. But, it's quite a thing when the Prime Minister of the UK is lighting the Diya lamps outside in Downing Street.
How important is personal chemistry between prime ministers?
I think it is important because every prime minister has a very crowded agenda. There are 1,001 things they have to do at the same time. And one of the things about governing is choice. Where do you focus on? And the fact that you have a prime minister in the UK who knows India well and understands the opportunity which India provides is good news as far as I'm concerned. I also think that Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Rishi Sunak can sort of talk to each other in a particular way because of that understanding. So we'll see. As I say, for example, in the free trade agreement, Indian negotiators are tough negotiators. I like to think the UK negotiators are tough negotiators as well. So there are still material interests. But knowledge and understanding and focus, I think, can be affected by that bilateral relationship, the human relationship.